My self-reflection and realization regarding my medical studies and research notes Part 2, number 1619, the 1st of May 2026, Gerald C. EclaireMD Foundation, category Methodology, Personal Science. Vascular Reliability Engineering. Reflection 13, Randomized Trials versus Real-Time Control. Similarly, randomized controlled trials, while valuable, are slow and static. They cannot provide guidance for immediate decisions. My approach is closer to real-time control, where continuous adjustment is required. In this sense, I view the body as a dynamic system that must be actively managed. Reflection 14, Physics versus Statistical Validation. I have also come to understand that physics does not require statistical validation to confirm reality. When a system reaches its limit and begins to fail, the outcome is clear. In my own case, when my TSI-Stroke value reached a high level, such as 105 to 110, it reflected a real physical condition that required immediate attention. An example of a mechanical failure in the human body can be illustrated as follows: just as a pipe bursts when internal pressure exceeds its material strength, a blood vessel may fail when the TSI-3b value crosses a critical threshold. No p-value is required to confirm the rupture. In summary, failure at threshold is a physical event, not a statistical debate. Reflection 15, High-Density Personal Data. Interestingly, although my research work focuses on a small number of individuals, the density of my data is very high. Over many years, I have collected detailed, continuous information through over 4 million personal data points of both biomarkers and lifestyle details. This provides a deep understanding of system behavior that is not easily captured in traditional medical research studies. Reflection 16, From Debate to Documentation. At this stage, I no longer feel the need to debate or seek validation or acceptance. Instead, I focus on documenting my observations. My work has become more like a lab journal book, recording the path I have taken, the risks I have encountered, and the methods I have used to maintain my health stability. This approach allows others to learn from my experience without requiring me to spend time seeking agreement or acceptance. In summary, I share the knowledge derived from my own body without seeking for validation or acceptance. Reflection 17, Personal Mission and Sharing. My primary goal has always been simple: to preserve my own health and prolong my life. In doing so, I may provide useful insights for others. But I do not impose my conclusions. I simply present my own data, my findings, and the reasoning behind it. Reflection 18, Choice of Communication Format. In addition, I have chosen not to publish my research results in medical journals or present them at conferences. At 79 years old, I prefer not to spend time on low return on investment activities. Instead, I use an audio format with text display on YouTube to present the semi-live nature of my data and findings, something traditional textbooks cannot capture. In summary, I prioritize high-impact communication over traditional, outdated publication methods. I hope that I am not too blunt. I am optimized for efficiency. Reflection 19, Clarity, Peace, and Direction. This shift has brought a sense of clarity and peace. I am no longer trying to fit into an existing framework. Instead, I am working within a system that reflects reality as I observe it. My focus remains on maintaining my health stability, understanding biomedical system behavior, and continuing to refine my research approach based on real data. Conclusion: survival, consistency, and truth. In the end, this is not about theory or recognition. It is about survival, consistency, and truth. Appendix: TSI-Stroke or TSI-3b equals SBP/dBP 45 times SBP 120 times glucose 100 times amplifier, where the amplifier is defined as 100 for diabetes less than 10 years, 110 for diabetes between 11 to 20 years, 120 for diabetes more than 20 years. With regard to TSI values, if TSI is less than 90, you are safe. If TSI is between 90 and 99, you are still safe. If TSI is between 100 and 109, you should be cautious about your risk. If TSI is greater than 110, you are entering a dangerous zone. Epilogue: the traditional frameworks assume stationarity, linearity, and single variable causality. My TSI model explicitly rejects all three. This is not a critique of medicine, it is a critique of the mental models inherited from older scientific eras. There are also two sentences in this article that define its foundation. My TSI-Stroke model is a hybrid, where I use deterministic mathematics to manage a stochastic life, and stability is achieved through feedback, not by forcing constancy. These statements anchor the entire paper. I have transitioned from an academic contributor to a personal health pilot. In other words, I now focus less on publishing knowledge and more on actively piloting my own health system. This is not about peace or philosophy. It is about system control, survival, and efficiency. I hope this article reads as a legacy document. It is the voice of a man who has learned to master his own system and now stands on the shore, holding a lantern for those still at sea. Disclaimer: I write this paper not for fame, but to share what I have learned so others can understand their health, prevent disease, and live longer, healthier lives. This content is provided for educational reference only and does not constitute medical advice. No doctor-patient relationship is created. You may share this summary freely, but it must not be altered, edited, or republished as your own. All intellectual property rights and copyrights for this article and its related materials belong to the author, Gerald C. No doctor-patient relationship is created. You may share this summary freely, but it must not be altered, edited, or republished as your own. All intellectual property rights and copyrights for this article and its related materials belong to the author, Gerald C. This content is provided for educational reference only and does not constitute medical advice. No doctor-patient relationship is created. You may share this summary freely, but it must not be altered, edited, or republished as your own. All intellectual property rights and copyrights for this article and its related materials belong to the author, Gerald C.